Hello everyone and welcome back to another Phasmophobia video. Today we are going to talk about, or just kind of discuss about the new upcoming items. I'm going to show you how to try and clip up there. What I need to do is I need to go back over here and clip the clipboards. Apparently these clipboards can do amazing and wonderful things. I'm hoping I can actually do this. Like I say, it's taken me 5 days, and to glitch up there it's a pain in the backside. So the plan is you kind of clip into the side of this, and if the clipboard's in the right place you can use them as a step to get up there and then up there. So as you can see, nothing's vibrating, nothing's shaking, nothing's looking glitchy. So I just need to make sure I put these in the right places. Sorry, this might take me in. Damn it. No, stay put. Right, now you'll see it shaking. If it's in the right place, it will then kind of glitch you through, clip you through and up and over. So we're just going to give that a try and see what happens. You kind of got to sprint into it and yeah, apparently from what I can gather, the back side of these clipboards have got some weird glitchiness, so that's what's causing it. I'm just gonna that's got to be the right place. That's how I did it. So I'm just looking at a screenshot I did last time. I'm just going to see if that's done it. No, that's too far over. I'm pretty sure that's right. Oh, there we go, yeah. That's done it. I thought that was right. There we go, we're up now. Oh yeah, I forgot the name. Yay, there we go. So you just kind of got to use the side of the clipboards and you should be able to climb up there. So yeah, I was going to say that I'm surprised that, well, I suppose no one's actually ever thought of using the side of a clipboard to actually climb up. In reality, you wouldn't be able to do that. So anyway, see, now we're up here, we can actually just walk around, see the top of everything. I don't think there's anything inside the boxes. No, boxes are empty. That's a shame. I thought there could have been a nice little kind of Easter egg in there. So we're going to start from left to right. Hopefully we don't fall off. So we've got the original cameras, like the GoPro things. I've been trying to work out what it says on them. Obviously you go too high now, so it says something 0007 0007. I don't know what that means. But we know this is the original GoPro style cameras that you just shove on your head. I never really used them. When I first started playing the game I used them, but going forward never used them once I got used to the game. Nothing's changed with the Assault fine for ghosts and spirits, that's fine. And the new camera head, that's the interesting one. It doesn't look like there's actually any kind of camera from what I can tell. So I'm trying not to make myself fall off at the same time, trying to look up. I mean, it could be possible that it could have a camera attached to it, like a smaller GoPro one with like LED lighting or maybe UV lighting, infrared maybe. Can't really speculate too much because we don't know a great deal about what's coming. But from what I can gather, the two small ones look like it could potentially be UV, the two smaller holes, which is somewhere like about the C and the O area. The middle one could be a camera, the middle hole, and the two outer ones could be white LED light, narrow but long beam ones that you probably see hunters use. These three, this one's been getting me the most. I reckon it could potentially be some sort of smudge pot you leave in a room and a longer lasting incense, possibly. Or maybe some sort of herbs to repel the ghost, keep it out of the room, or keep it in its room even. It's kind of hard to tell. I've been looking online, and a lot of them point towards some sort of herb or incense related thing. So that's my speculation. It's possibly something along those lines. And it's like the same with this. This is kind of what I'm expecting to be inside there. Possibly some sort of herb, Wiccan kind of spell that could summon a spirit, or say banish it from an area, or trap it in an area. Kind of hard to tell, really. I couldn't find much online about this, but my speculation is you're going to have the incense stick, which is somewhere. Oh yeah. Oh no, actually no, because then we've got. Oh no, that's incense. So that's the next stage up from the incense. Is actually this, and then it goes into the holy incense ball. Okay, so they're not actually incense. Okay, so okay, so it's the next stage up from salt. It's to I'm pretty sure this is actually now to do with keeping the spirit within the room, or giving a better location, like when it walks through the salt. This will give a bigger indication possibly of where it's walking to, and may leave a trail for the hunter to follow the ghost around the building. That could actually be it, and that could be another step towards it, the next stage up. Yeah, I reckon it's going to be salt, some sort of sea salt, maybe something stronger, I don't know, and then some sort of Wiccan black salt. That will probably make more sense now. I've just realised there's actually I didn't notice this when I first did it. Normal incense stick, a larger incense stick, which could possibly go back towards the 12-second mark, because I think there's 6 seconds if I recall. 12 seconds, no, well maybe 9 seconds, and this will be a 12-second one. That'll be interesting to see what happens between the three incense styles. Again, it's all just speculation, really. So let's go back over here. I've kind of jumped the gun again already. So we've got a normal spirit box. Nothing's changed much. I'm curious on this one. I think this is going to be like those little tiny digital voice recorders. Those ones you plug in by USB. They're about that tall, about knee wide. I've actually got one. I've never used it actually, but I really should. It just plugs in. It's like a tiny thing. You kind of have to be really close to speak up a bit, like I am with my microphone. I'm actually didn't check if my microphone's working. It's working. And so I reckon we're going to end up with a small cassette tape, or maybe cassette tape actually. Go a bit vintage, retro kind of style. Then we've got a normal spirit box, and then we've got this one over here. I can't get any closer to it. That's kind of how close I am. I'm going to assume it's got a bigger range. It picks up, potentially might pick up more voices. Bigger range is really what I'm kind of going on. It's got a bigger aerial. It's got a bigger speaker. I'm not sure what the buttons do. As I say, I can't get that close to it, which is annoying. I'm trying to bend down. Yeah, I can't really see that. I can't remember how to turn off Psycho's filters. So yeah, that's why I'm blaming this. So that's why it's got such a big bloom in the area, because I've got the reshader mod on. So we've got these. I forgot what they're called now. The parabolic mic. There we go. So we've got the current one. I think that's the current one. So I think that's going to be an upgraded version of the current we've got. And we've got the downgraded version, because this one's got a big screen on it, like an LCD screen. You're not going to want to go from that to that. And this seems to have a bigger, wider area around it. So it's probably going to be a wider beam, so you'll be able to cover more of the area aiming at, possibly have a longer range as well. I think this is going to be the starting one. It's got no, from what I can see, it's got no screen. It's got a smaller dish. It might be a narrow beam, maybe half the distance of what this one's going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be something else going here. Maybe like a sound dish, a sound radar that you could place on the floor, and you can listen to it through speakers inside the van or something. You can sit in the van with a camcorder, and you could probably set up a remote parabolic mic kind of thing. You can just plonk it down, a bit like these sound things, but you'd pinpoint exactly where the location is. So you'd have a little dish that's probably orbital goes round, and then it picks up a note, it's like a sound. It will probably go ping. It's over in that kind of vague direction, how many decibels, and you could probably work out the location of where it's currently where it goes to walk in. If it's opening any doors, turn any taps on. That's my theory on that one. A possible, yeah, a bit like you get in that Egyptian game. I kind of never remember. I've never played it. We set a little radar dish down on the floor, and you can pick up where things are. So that's kind of my theory on that one. That's what's going to come in this one, is a some sort of parabolic sound dish that you can place down and just pinpoints roughly, or the angle where the ghost is. Whether I can point upwards, like in 2 stories, or if it's literally, or 3 stories, if it's basement first, second, or if it's literally just going to literally scout round the floor you're currently on. So I think that's what's coming next as well. We've got standard matchbox and lighters, and a bigger lighter. I assume this one is going to burn out quicker than the blue lighters. As you walk around, sometimes the lighters go out on their own accord, a bit like the candles do. So I think the matches are going to have a shorter fuse time, so you won't be able to keep much line. You just have to keep striking them up maybe every 30 seconds. I don't think they're going to change this one much. You're going to get probably the same amount of light and light range and light time, and you just reignite every time it goes off. Again, I can't quite get down there, but there's a nice black metallic looking lighter. I think that's going to give you maybe twice the amount of light and twice the amount of time you can have it open, but you have to flick it back on. But again, it's neither here nor there really. I don't think there's going to be much difference between the current lighters and the new lighters, but again, that is just me theorizing. We'll start from top, bring it back up. Candles, so we've got the standard candles. We've got the lanterns, we've got oil lanterns, which is a nice touch, especially if you walk around the abandoned buildings. It would have been lovely to have seen these around the original asylum, but I can see them working around Sunny Meadows as well. Excuse me. I think they will be really good. I think you're going to get quite a nice amount of light out of them. It's a 360 light. I reckon you probably get about 3 times the amount of lumens compared to a candle. Actually, let's have a quick look. Let's see what it says online. Oil lanterns versus candle lumens. Just to quickly see how it. No, don't sign me up for that. Ooh, so a standard candle is about 12 lumens. I want an oil lantern lumens, please. So candles 12, and an oil lantern is, so if I spell it properly, so it says a flat wick lamp have lowest light output, center draft round wick. Lamps have 3 to 4 times the output of a flat wick lamp. That's not one I want to see. Oh, the range between 8 to 100 lumens. So if a candle is 12 lumens, I don't know if that's accurate in this game. Potentially a lantern could have up to 100 lumens, so that's nearly 10 times the amount of light. So it could be possible that you might have a 4 or 5 candle holder that goes here, which could bridge it to maybe, so that's 12. Let's call this 12, maybe 30 lumens, and then maybe up to between 45 to 60 lumens. So you probably get a noticeable difference in candle light. So obviously these are good when you don't, when you're ride shoes, or if you're exploring on insanity mode where torches don't work. This would give you a bigger amount of light and light radius. So you haven't got a narrow beam like a torch, or a very small radius of flame lit light on a candle. I reckon we're going to have 12, 20 to 30 maybe, and then 30 to 50 lumens I think is what I'm going to go on these 3. We have got a, what does that say? Top scale magnetic field. So I'm going to have to I'm going to have to lean in to see this one. So what does it actually say? It says magnetic off battery test, magnetic something 0.5. I think that's, I can't, it's actually at the wrong light for me, wrong angle shall I say, to actually look at it. Scale magnetic field 0 to 100 milligauss, is it? Of electric field multiplied by 10 to get volts. Center EMF reading 0 to 5 milligauss. If I'm pronouncing, I'm dyslexic, so my pronunciation of words is going to be completely different to a professional. Bottom radio microwave in first of box. So this is going to be probably the first stage of EMF. This is kind of old school technology. Then we've got the EMF we've been familiar with pretty much from the start of the game. It's just had a texture update, which has been nicely done by CJ, and the textures are really good on this. Let's just appreciate the textures for a second. The fadeness of the light, the writing, and the textures. Good job, CJ. Obviously, there's going to be something bigger for the EMFs. I've seen various ranges of EMF readers from watching so many ghost hunting shows. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if it's something as big as the sound box down here. Something that could probably be more sensitive. More sensitive to static, electricity. Probably has a narrow band so you can pinpoint it, because when you walk around the current EMF, you hear a door open, you're going to about 10 different doors to work it out. Maybe this one will have some sort of, again, potentially some sort of radar to say the EMF's off to your left, off to the centre, off to the right. You could probably get a better range on it and a better location. Again, it's speculation on my behalf. I don't know what's coming, but I think possibly some sort of EMF reader that says a bit like a radar, EMF detection over this way, or hard left, or maybe a blip at the bottom centre to say it's behind you. Again, that is something that could be coming. We shall see on that one. The thermometers, temperature readings have changed. So we've got the old school thermometer that you probably hang in your gardens, your garages, around your house. Then we've got the standard digital thermometer that, again, we've been so used to since the start of the game. I don't think much is going to change on this. And then we've got I need to stop climbing up on top of there. When I'm walking around, I end up clipping on top of there, and it kind of gets me stuck. I need to be careful of that. Probably a longer range thermal camera, I reckon we're going to get. I think we're going to finally be able to see the temperature of a ghost, maybe an infrared shade of it, or a heat sensor of it. Being temperature is probably a infrared heat reading of it. You can probably get some false readings. Obviously, if a player walks in front of you, you may see them. Probably works similar to how the infrared on the camera works. So I think we are going to get a thermal camera at long last, which I would absolutely love if this is coming. I love thermal cameras. When I watch like Ghost Hunters International and we watch all those back, you see something move on the heat camera. Sorry, it's like, oh my god, is that really it? So this will actually be quite good, like in long areas like Sunny Meadows and high school, those long corridors. Obviously, be careful. We don't know how they're going to program it. It could be that a fallen bookcase or something could have a temperature to it, and you might realise, hang on a minute, I'm being fooled. So there is a catch to those. You can be easily manipulated, especially if you look in glass. You can get your own thermal reading back. So again, if they've programmed that into, say, high school, and you're looking down a corridor and it's a window at the end, then you might pick up a false reading of your own avatar character's heat signature. So I think that is what we're going to be getting here, some sort of thermal camera, which I really hope so. We've done the lanterns, we've done smudge sticks. Cameras are changing, so we've got a Polaroid camera. That is epic. I haven't played with one of those since probably the late 90s, and I absolutely loved them. I think that's going to be a smaller, narrow band. I don't think we're going to get... You're going to have to be probably closer to the ghost, or have some... It's going to be the star and stuff. I don't think you're going to get a clear picture to start with, because obviously these are literally... Alright, maybe the size of my coaster, illogical captain stuff. Sorry, I just need to go back to Streamlabs. Just make sure I'm still recording. I am. So I think we're going to get a Polaroid picture this big. The picture quality is probably not going to be as good. I think it's going to be slightly distorted, so you might not be able to get a clearer picture of it. Then we've got the digital cameras, again, something that we've been so used to throughout since the launch of the game. I reckon the pictures might be slightly changed on these ones, maybe slightly bigger, so you can probably get a wider picture. You probably get to have a wider scope to capture a ghost photo or something along those lines. And then we've got something else coming. Now this one I've not been able to work out that well. I can't work out what kind of camera we're getting next. The only thing I can think of from watching lots of ghost hunting shows is that we may have a camera that we can change between heat, infrared, ultraviolet, and normal, maybe a multivectoral. Is there a multivectoral digital camera? I've seen it in Ghost Hunters. You can attach different things to it to change the type of camera. So you can do it with iPads and Android devices. You can get these little USB devices that you plug in and it turns your tablet device into ultraviolet, infrared, heat signature, or just unplug it and have normal. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have some sort of maybe, even I could be pushing it a lot with this, but we might even be able to have a tablet that takes various photos with various filters on. So, but my problem with that is the gaps of the hooks. I mean, they could be teasing. This could change. You could have a tablet lane there and a tablet lane up there, and this coming soon sign would disappear. But I don't know. I mean, speculation, though. It'd be nice to have a tablet camera and be able to see more on what it is you're taking a photo of, maybe have a wider range, and I would say different features like UV, heat, and infrared. So, yeah, I think that's what we could be having on that front. And now we've got new crucifixes. Now we've got a traditional wooden twig stick kind of one. You normally see these out in the woods or in more older, ancient times. I reckon we're going to have a smaller range on this one. I don't think it's going to be the standard, is it 3 meters I think we gave this one? Sorry, I didn't do my research as much as I would normally, because it's such a pain getting up on these cabinets. I reckon we're going to have about 1.5 meter range, maybe a 1 meter range on this one. And the fact it's kind of crisscrossed, I don't think we're going to get 3 lives on it. I reckon we're probably going to get 2. I only say that because the crossbar is literally 1 bar. And we've got 1 bar going down, so I'd possibly say, I mean, I could be completely wrong, could be 3, but I'm theorising 2 just because of the centre line will burn first, and then the horizontal line will burn first, and then vertical stick. Sorry, I've got a hiccup. Vertical bar will go second, so I think we'll probably get 2 lives on that front. The standard 3 meter, 3 lives one is, I reckon it's going to stay 3 meters, 3 lives. That's it. This one I've been trying to look online for what a silver crucifix is. I have to say there are some novelty ones out there that have a blue LED light one that when there's a spirit nearby, apparently this rumoured, it'll glow blue to say it's nearby and or it's interacting with it. So it could be possible that we could have a light shader to it, but I think I'm going way out the ballpark on that one. I reckon this one's just going to be purely along a bigger range. So we got I anticipate 1 to 1.5 meters on the wood stick. We're going to stick around to 3 meters for the rustic metal one and the silver one. Possibly 4.5 to 6 meter range, which would cover pretty much a classroom in high school, so it should cover a larger radius. I think we'll probably get a nice epic effect when all 3 lives on it have been used, maybe a bit of an explosion or something, because we get a nice lava glow of this rustic metal one. I think this one would probably get some sort of epic kind of light show, and I think that's what it's going to be. It's just going to be a bigger range, a nicer look, and again, CJ, nice job on it, and literally just a bigger range, really. I think that's it. Will we get a 4th life out of it? I don't know. 1, 2, 3, and maybe the handle could act as a 4th one, so maybe 2, 3, possibly 4 lives. I mean, it is decorative at the bottom, so it could be potentially that 2 on the wood, 3 on the rustic, 4 on the silver. But again, I'm just theorising. So we've done the smudge sticks. So we've got the standard motion sensors. Again, some we've been familiar with from the start of the game. And then we have got these fantastic ones. They've got much more sensors to them. They've got 2, 4, 6, 12, 18, 36 dot sensors, cameras. I'm not 100% sure what they are. They could be just for show. Then we've got the big sensor in the middle, which is the infrared sensor that would trigger motion like you do on a CCTV or a security light on your garden or somewhere like that on a secure premises. This will be the light indicator. So like you get with this one, you get the center light or the top light, shall I say, lights up white. I think so. You're going to probably get a white light on this one. That's the trigger. That's the IR sensors. Now again, I can't work out what these are. My only theory is we're actually going to get a bit like the DOTS projector. I reckon these could potentially be merged with the DOTS projector because there's another new DOTS projector down there. So maybe we get some sort of, I don't know, I'm speculating because you know the Phasmophobia developers are like, they are very cryptic. So light sensor, that's got to be the sensor, that's got to be the light. So what are these? We're just going to get nice fancy laser beams, a bit like the dot matrix, but they're going to be red and they tell you the range of the sensor. So when you put it on the wall, you get a beam of red light, and it tells you how far. So this is the wall. You've plugged the sensor on it, and then you get a beam of light that says that's how far it's going to actually go. Because we don't get that on here unless you put it on the wall and go back to the truck. You don't actually see it. So of course, yes, it's clicked. That's the infrared beam. That's the light. That's the sensor. So yes, these dots will probably have a much longer and wider range of sensor beams than this one. So yes, you would get the beam. So this could be the existing one, and then the second one could be twice as long, and you get a better. So you could cover a room much better with these ones actually. So yeah, that makes sense. These are probably going to be a longer range sensors covering a wider area for the motion sensors. This one down here, I'm going to assume it's going to be another part of a new motion sensor. We could eventually get visible laser beams that cover from room to room. Possibly. It's kind of hard to tell really, because I don't know how you can top this. Maybe one with a built-in light that you can just keep on, a bit like a I don't know, maybe some sort of flare. Like if you haven't got your torch on, you can just walk over it, maybe just turn a light on. A bit like when you, again with like a security light, you can just turn the security light on permanently by just flicking a change. So from what I can gather, I'm going to lean in a bit. So the writing, I don't think the writing is going to have much of effect on this, but we're just going to quickly go over it. It's called a 3M. I can't see what the writing is in top right corner, but it says T:1201-2023. So is that the date that it was finished being rendered by CJ, or was it the date that it was officially put into the store? So that's the 12th of January 2023 at 22:09:12. So that's 9 minutes past 10 at night. And the numbers at the bottom read 1000/124481. Again, I don't know if that has any bearings on what's going to happen. If that's going to be like a time frame, so you can actually. I don't know if it's going to go up against your computer clock, or if it's going to have a built-in game clock that says ghost motion was detected at I don't know, what's today's date? The 22nd of the 3rd, 2023 at 17:26 and 12 seconds. That is potentially what it could be, and it just keeps a log, so you can keep a log of how many times it's passed, how quickly it's passed. It could even do a psycho trick if it's going to be like that. You can time the distance between two things without actually having to be in the house, or use a smudge stick to try and work out its speed. You could potentially work out its speed through time and distance if you're good enough with the distance. If you know roughly it's about a meter between each step or something, 1.2 meters per second. You could probably work it out if this is the case, but again, I could be overthinking it, and it could just be there for decor. But the date and timestamp could lead to a potential measuring of the ghost speeds between point A and point B, or point C and D as well, if there is 4 motion sensors. So there is that possibility. Now we've got an interesting one. We can actually, looks like it, we've got the original tripod. Again, we've been used to this throughout the game, but we've not been able to do much in the way of pivoting. So this caught my attention quite quickly. We've got a new camera mount at the top, and we've got this lovely, this lovely compass related angle we normally adjust, things like that. And we've got a more of a pivot. We can adjust the angle up, down. I've got one of these very similar that I use when I go out and do other videos around the place, around when I'm out and about. So I think might be able to pivot with these ones, so we can go left, right, up, down, so we can actually change the angle. So maybe we could actually finally have a camera that we can actually point down the stairs or point up the stairs, or change the angle to cover more of a certain area of the room that we want to look in, instead of going around with a camera going like that, because that's all we can do really. We can only aim a camera when we're holding it, or with a head mounted camera we can ask a player to look up and down, left, right, etc. This is just a linear camera mount that just points in one direction. I'm hoping this one we can tilt, pivot, swivel, things like that. And this one, I'm not sure about what's going to come next. I don't know how you can top this one. However, we could probably top it with a remote mount. So we could plonk it down, go back to the fan, and maybe we can pan the camera around through a remote joystick or something like that. So we can actually say, okay, there's nothing in this area. Maybe we can change the angle of the camera, pivot it around a bit more, which would be ideal in prison, because that is a nightmare. Same with high school Sunny Meadows. If you're in a big room and the camera is in a terrible location, like you've put it in the middle of the room hoping you would catch an orb or something, and you're like, no, there's nothing there, you have to go back in, turn it around, which is why a lot of players use a camcorder and just go walk around. Hopefully with this one we can actually maybe remotely control it from within the fan and try and save some sanity and not use so many peels up. So maybe we get a remote camera mount that we can just rotate, pivot and all that. So and finally, it's not easy to guess. I think we're going to have a handheld what are they called now? Dots projector. I think we're going to have a small handheld, like a laser pen. I think we have a very tiny, narrow laser pen one. I think that's what we're going to start off with. I think you're just going to have like put it on the side or hold it, and you're just going to have to wait for some sort of motion to go through it. Then we've got a dots projector that we're very much familiar with, that we can stick onto walls and floors, and it lights up a room. And yeah, there's nothing much else to explain on that one. This one is interesting because, again, I can't get into it. It's sealed off pretty much all the way around. Dots projector has like a fan mount, so it goes up kind of sort of like that. I wonder if this new one we're going to have possibly a 360 one we can hold, or so like a bit like the camcorder, we can just mount it in the center of the room so it's up vertically, and it just does a whole complete 360 of the room, top to bottom, all the way around, and it has probably covers a whole room in a much bigger range, so you cover probably a classroom in high school, or a larger area in one of the prison cells, so block A or block B. I think that's what one's going to be. I think it's going to be a vertical standing one that, or possibly rotates around. Again, it goes around like that, and it just constantly scans, and you can watch it from the van with a camcorder. Again, the camcorder, even that new camcorder tripod, if that rotates remotely, and you can probably control this one remotely, that would be amazing. But again, I think that's being very optimistic. But I think this one will be a 360 one that you just stand in the room, and it either covers a whole 360 or it does a radar kind of motion. So I think that's where we are with these ones. Torches are torches. I don't think it's going to be special, standard, high, and I think a bit like the UV ones. I think we're going to get a massive floodlight torch over here that's just much wider, much brighter, much longer. So again, high school prison won't be as daunting. It's just with these glow sticks, UV torches, and just the wider, longer, more powerful UV torches coming. I'm not going to do much about those. They're pretty much self-explanatory. The sound recorders, I think we're going to get. This is standard. I mean, I don't really use them in games, so I'm not sure how else they work. I mean, these are quite overpowering at the best of times. I mean, 4 of these will cover Tanglewood, so maybe we're going to get a nerfed sound recorder. These are going to probably replace the current range of these ones. And maybe over here we'll probably get a, but like I said over there with the voice box, the spirit box, will probably get a larger range sound sensor, so it could probably cover, maybe one of those will cover half of Tanglewood, or maybe two will cover the whole Tanglewood. Or maybe these ones can actually hear sound. So if you're on the first floor and you've got a basement and a second floor, you may be able to hear sounds above and below to give you a better indication of where you need to go, where the sounds are being heard from. So you might get a 3D microphone. I mean, that's what this one could be. The angled crisscrossed. I don't know. I'm speculating, but maybe we could actually finally get a sound box, a sound sensor that can actually go through floors. Because let's face it, these two go through walls. What's stopping this from going through a floor? They just need to know how to program it correctly and how we can see it on the 2D map on the fan. Maybe the map on the fan, you will have a choice between 2D and 3D and something like that. Maybe it gives you another indication of roughly where the sound's coming from. Old school journal. Again, I'm not going to go into this too much. Current writing book, and then a much more wicker looking book. It's much thicker. It's got a nice ink fountain pen. I guess it just improves we're just going to get different messages, probably instant quicker reactions on the writing. I think that's going to take longer to maybe get writing, or maybe we just get basic writing, the symbols that we've been familiar with, and then maybe this one is more scary. Maybe it triggers a hunt or a ghost event, or something's going to be coded in that's going to cause malicious, because that's very very spooky looking, haunted looking. So I think we're going to get something that's going to trigger some sort of event if it gets written into, maybe. And then we have got some new stuff. So it looks like we've got an EpiPen or adrenaline rush. Is this going to replace the pills? Possibly. It may give you a small sanity boost, but I think looking at them, it's like an adrenaline pen. I reckon we're going to get an adrenaline boost. So if you use it and you're being chased, you can inject yourself some adrenaline. Sorry, another hiccup. Boost yourself with some adrenaline, and it'll probably give you 3, 6, maybe 9 seconds of sprint boost, so you can get away from maybe a Raichu or a Revenant, so you've actually got a defense against them. We've got the pills. Again, we've been used to those since the launch of the game. Nothing, I don't think it's going to change. I think it's going to be the same restore. And then we have got Insane Away, I believe it's called. I reckon it's going to be coming at a higher level. So once you've leveled up maybe to level, I don't know, 20 or 30 or 50 or something like that, depending on how the developers set it, I reckon you could get 50% sanity restored, or maybe 100%. It could be worth it could cost a lot of money in the store. So it's definitely the next one up from the peel. But I reckon this will give you a much more higher sanity boost. It's going to cost a lot more. Maybe disposable. So once you've used it, you have to buy another one. The peels, as I just said, we used it from the game. I reckon these are going to be adrenaline kind of things. I can't see it. I can't read it actually. So I think that's all the items really. There's 3 suitcases here, which suggests there's going to be more items coming on the way in the future. I don't know what other items there are. I mean, we don't know. One thing that is missing is the camcorder. That is what's missing. I don't think I've missed it. Have I not? So yeah, we are missing the camcorders from the shop. So I reckon we're going to get some brand new camcorders, maybe a VHS one with a static display. Maybe we're going to keep the HD camcorder that we're so used to at the moment. And then the third one could be maybe like a 4K one, a bit like what I suggested with the digital cameras, maybe one that you built in UV, heat, infrared and normal. Maybe it's a 4K one that we're going to be able to plug in. We'll be able to record the footage and plug it in. Maybe the TV over there, we're going to be able to watch back some of the clips. Maybe like, oh my god, this was a great hunt, or this is how I solved this. Maybe get a DVD player or a VHS player, and we'll have it stacked there, and we can play back the 6 previous videos, a bit like we do here, of the 6 to 8 previous photos. So that is possible. Yeah, I definitely haven't missed the camcorder. So the camcorder is probably going to be one of these. The other 2, I'm really miffed about. I can't seem to work the other stuff. I don't know. I've watched a lot of ghost hunter stuff, so I could potentially be missing something. So yeah, I'm going to end it there because this video has gone on for about 45 minutes. They are my speculations. I have no insight from the developers whatsoever. That's how you climb up on top of that box to have a look at the items closer. Again, that took me 5 days to try and work out. It is very, very temperamental and very hard to try and do. So don't get yourself worked up if you can't do it. Anyway, if you want to join me over on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/Zio_2113. I'm not currently streaming, but please go follow. I'm hoping to get back into it next month. Until the meantime, take care everyone, and have a lovely evening, lovely day, wherever you are in the world. Take care of yourself, look after yourself, and all the best. Goodbye.